Well, let me tell you, usually when you get these tax advantage accounts, you get one of two things. Either you get a tax deductible contribution, like an RSP, where it reduces your income and then you get a tax advantage, or you get tax-free growth, where you're not taxed on the compounding that happens in that account or the money that actually is earned in that account. Well, this account has both. It has been just under 14 years that the tax-free savings account was introduced in Canada. And I must say, this is one of the accounts that the government got right. This is one of the best tools to be able to save for whatever your goal is without worrying that your compounding is going to be affected by your taxes. If you're an average listener here, you know that I constantly say taxes are your first dance partner in this economy. So this account was the first one that acknowledged that working people need relief from taxes as they try to grow their nest egg to something they can use in their retirement. However, now there's a new kid in town, the tax-free first home savings account. This is the real deal. Not half the deal and none of this innuendo. It is the real deal. So let me tell you a little bit about it. It was put in place to allow first-time home buyers to be able to save without the penalty of taxes up to a lifetime amount of $40,000. Stick around to the end. I will let you know exactly what you need to do and how to mix this within your tax-free savings and RSP savings, and how it interacts with the regular home buyer's plan from your RSPs. Now, it is very important to understand how you qualify, and this is who qualifies. There are three criteria that you have to meet. You have to be over 18 years old, you have to be a Canadian resident, and you have to be what is considered a first-time home buyer, which means you or your spouse have not owned a residence, a home for residence in the past 4 years. How much can you contribute? Well, great question. So the contribution, the limit per year is $8,000. And this limit carries on through the next year and the next year after that, up to a maximum limit of $40,000. $40,000 being the lifetime limit is very important to understand, because it is only triggered by the first opening of the account. So the sooner you qualify for it, and the sooner you deposit, say, $100, even if you do not plan to make this the centerpiece of your savings, it triggers that count to $40,000 to start happening. What is so special about the first home savings account that every new home buyer should be excited about? Well, let me tell you, usually when you get these tax advantage accounts, you get one of two things. Either you get a tax deductible contribution, like an RSP, where it reduces your income and then you get a tax advantage, or you get tax-free growth, where you're not taxed on the compounding that happens in that account or the money that actually is earned in that account. Well, this account has both. So the money that you put in there up to $40,000 is tax deductible. $8,000 is the limit per year, as I said. And the growth that happens in that account is tax-free. So it is the best account, bar none, that has been seen in the consumer market for consumers anywhere in Canada. I said that. So you ask, what about the investments and withdrawals? So investment types that qualify are the same as the ones that qualify for a tax-free savings account. So if you have a tax-free savings account, feel free to check what qualifies, or put some resources. Let me know in the chat if you need those resources. But if you have a tax-free savings account, whatever you can buy in there, you can buy in the first home savings account. Withdrawals can be done for the next 15 years after you open the account. This part is very important. It can only last up to 15 years, and then you have to give up that first home savings account status. Now you ask, what happens if you do not buy the house? If you do not buy the house after the 15th year of starting the plan, or after the year you turn 71, whichever one is earlier, you have to terminate this plan and either roll it over into an RRSP or an RRIF, the other accounts that we discuss on this channel. If that's not the case, this is going to be terminated, the status is going to be terminated anyway, and that is going to be counted as an income, which means it will be taxed fully at your particular tax rate. If it is rolled into an RRSP, you do not have to worry about space because it does not affect your RRSP limit, which is actually a very sweet point, and you will see when I start talking about best practices at the end of this video why this is important. Okay, so if you stayed this long, I'm going to have to give you some jewels. So here are the things that you need to watch out for when looking at the first home savings account. First, its interaction with the home buyer's plan from your RSP. The home buyer's plan is a plan that allows you to withdraw up to $35,000 tax-free from your RSP and pay it over the course of 15 years. You cannot use both programs together. So as this program starts, it gives you about $40,000. As the other one that has been in existence sunsets, because I believe if you're not allowed to use both, most people would choose the first home savings account. The other one will wither and wait until later on. So you cannot use both, so you have to choose strategically. From what I have learned, the first home savings account is superior to the home buyer's plan because it gives you $5,000 more and it gives you additional flexibility. Because if you do not end up using those funds, you can transfer them tax-free into your RSP without losing or affecting any existing RSP space. As I mentioned earlier in the program, that's a big advantage because even if you are a renter that is determined to be a renter for life, you can take advantage of this account and get additional RSP space. Functionally, if you end up starting this account, getting those $40,000 and growing it tax-free, let's say to $45,000 over 15 years, you can transfer that $45,000 into your RSP or your RIF account without affecting your RSP space. So effectively, you've gone more than 17% of your income, which is the usual space everybody gets for tax-free RSP contributions. When it comes to CDIC insurance, it is not completely certain that CDIC will insure this account quite yet. Talks are still in progress to ensure that this is added, similar to the limits of $100,000 for RSPs and TFSAs, but this is not fully done yet. So when can you expect this account to be live? From what is being said, April 1st, 2023. And if you are somebody who qualifies, i.e. you are 18 years old, you are a Canadian resident, and you have not owned a home, you or your spouse have not owned a home in the last 4 years, you should go out and start the account even if you put in $5. That way you start the countdown to that $40,000, and eventually as you plan on buying the house or really just using the space, you will be able to take advantage of this new account. This is the most significant account that has happened since 2009 when the tax-free savings account came into being. And this is by far the best account, bar none. Thank you, Strivers, for staying with me. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and share this video with the next person